Hi folks, Dino Bob back here in Mekele Station Park, and this is episode 2. We're going to be adding a couple more dinosaur habitats in this episode and working our way toward that financial security point that I was hoping to get to. So first a look at where we're headed. You can see the exhibit from last time on the right, and the two new exhibits that are going in the course of this video. So let's get down to doing some of that. The first one we'll start with is the one at the top of the circle, which is for Scelidosaurus. And this time I'm starting by putting in some of the guest features that are needed to bring in those bucks that help keep the park running. The information signs, the donation boxes, and the attraction points with the viewing binoculars. The fenced-in area has already been given its coating of base substrate, and now I'm putting in some water features because these animals seem to like a good bit of that in their habitats. The water these days is giving a visually significant slope as it comes down to the actual water, and it seems a little steep to me, particularly for these smaller kinds of animals. I've gotten my first research piece done there. You saw it flash by, and that was the improving the cost situation with regard to building upkeep. That's one of those frugality one of those frugality measures that I was going on about last time. It took me quite a while to notice that these animals were still getting the random skins. I didn't have that with the Tycosaurus because it is a single skin species. The Scelidosaurus, not so much. So that raised my priority for researching the chromatic adjustments to let you pick the skin you wanted. So once the water was in, it's plant time. I want to get enough to make the animals happy. I'm not too worried at this stage that it looked correct or as cool as it could possibly look. You'll notice I'm leaving a gap in the back corner there on the left. That's not getting a lot of foliage. That's the intended breeding area for this habitat, which I figured would not be covered in vegetation. One of the things I tend to do when I'm doing this is forget to put a keeper gate in so that the keepers can get and fill up the feeding pans or enrichment items or whatever you put in for the animals. There goes the gate now. And it'll be ready for the animals when they get in. Otherwise, you'll get a constant barrage of messages that there are hungry animals and guests will be unhappy about it and all that kind of stuff. Nigel will annoy you about it, and it's just not a lot of fun. You see I'm putting in some islands in this water area, and there was a brief flick of Nigel there telling me that they're going to be hungry. Once again, I'm doing babies in here to save costs. And you can see the notice there that they don't have what they should have. And now I'm adjusting some of the foliage to meet their needs and keep checking on them to see if they're satisfied, and then going back and doing a little bit more. I didn't want the whole thing to be just a complete jungle where you can't see the animals. So just wanted to get over the line into their satisfaction. I used the pond water for this habitat. I'm starting to like that more and more. And there's one of our little guys swimming along, and it's time to get along to more of the park. But first, an overview of the finished thing. You can see a Cure building on the right. You won't see me build those during this video, but by the end of the video and this stage of the game save, they're in place. I forgot to record them. And this is what the next habitat is going to end up looking like. This is for the Plateosaurus gracilis, and you can see it starting to go in now. You see I didn't manage to get the terrain modifications where I had originally hoped to get them, a little too far in to serve this habitat. And I also wanted this habitat to go down in the back, in part to hide the care building, which will be coming in a bit. So after that little bit of terrain manipulation, it's getting its coat of base substrate, this time of sand. This is a more arid environment, so I wanted to make sure that would be the case. You see I raised an area in the center, and now I lowered an area along one edge. That area along the edge is where the viewing platform will be. The idea being that the guests will be up here on the viewing platform, and the animals in the main part of the exhibit will be more or less on a level with them unless they go into that elevated area. It gives the guests a more we're on the same level kind of experience, and that dip down near the viewing platform means the animals won't be looming over them as the guests come up to that barrier area. So note from, I guess the YouTube term is future me, this habitat viewing area will turn out to have a problem with when the guests start building up. They, for some reason, don't really like this side of the entrance to the area. It was working fine, no problems, but you can see I'm creating a second ramp down to the other side, and for some reason they were just jamming in there. And I tried a couple of tricks to alleviate it, and nothing seemed to satisfy that, and I don't really understand the why of that, unless it's got something to do with the guests going the other way around, basically coming right after they arrive at the park and seeing the other animals first before going to the Plateosaurus. I don't know. But the frustrations of getting your guests to behave. I wanted to use ramps here for this, so I didn't have to, at this stage, worry about any special facilities for the notional handicapped guests who'd be visiting the park. They could get themselves up the ramps and not need elevators or anything like that, or have to work around the stairs. So these viewing areas will get a little update, I think, in the next video, possibly the one after that. But I'm still on the early phases of getting the park to a viable economy. I was very used to the economy really being a rush to get up to the 1-star rating. Otherwise, you end up losing money pretty badly. And now with the higher priced and much more numerous research items that I felt would become a real danger. So right now you're seeing me adjust the colors on the, I believe that's one of the rustic stone walls, which was something I also researched because I knew I was going to want pieces from that set and fences from that set. So they had to go in. You can see rocks going in now, and these are the new sedimentary rock pieces in their base color. I wanted to get something a slightly different color, as you saw in the teaser about what the habitat was going to look like, so it required a change. which you see me playing with here, trying to find a color I like. And then you can see I worked on also getting the arid theme. That was another theme I thought was necessary for this park's approach. And I guess you'll see that also in the next video. So our Plateosauruses, again, like the other animals, are youngsters to save that money and also to gain those milestones as the animals mature, and it raises their attraction points. So gracilis is a one-skin animal, so there was no concern on that chromatic situation. So there's the basic layout. No plants in there yet. I'm waiting for our animals to come out of the lab and get put in so that they can give me some feedback on just how much in the way of plants they'll want. And once again, I've forgotten to put the gate in, so you can see the feeder notice. They're not being prepped in preparation for the animals to be in. And here the animals are in. They've got their necessary foliage to make them happy. All the habitats in this early part of the park are with modern plants, even though paleoflora is currently available. That was something that I wanted for the expansion in the park, in part because it takes a lot of research, and that was a program that I wanted to set up, but not ready for it. With 3 animals, I needed to add another keeper so things would keep moving along smoothly. Most of the staff, as you can see, is cashiers, but I needed 2 each for the other 2 categories to keep things moving in the park. At least it appears I did. So there it is. I have managed to squeak over out of 1 star at this point. So I reached that target of danger for previous versions of the park pretty handily. I've still got some budget in the park, but it's not great. And things generally are in the up and up. So one more thing I wanted to get in on this one was get that dig center, because that paleoflora needs to come from dig sites. And they're scattered all over the world, and there's lots of them. But that's it for today, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, do it, please. Give me a like, drop some comments. Love to hear from you. Till then, next time, you all take care, be kind to each other out there, and I hope to see you at another video. Bye now.